people, so today I'm going to talk about deleting friends. And no, I don't just mean blocking them on Facebook because I'm pretty sure you can just figure out how to do that yourself. And I don't mean killing them. Killing people is a naughty thing to do. Never do that. It's bad. Generally when you think abusive relationship, you think of two people who are in a romantic relationship, one of whom regularly or semi-regularly physically harms the other person. And while this is definitely one definition of the term, the relationship doesn't have to be romantic. It can be an abusive friendship, and it doesn't also have to be physical abuse. It can be verbal or psychological, and none of these kinds of abusive relationships are in any way healthy or good. So I am in no way trying to claim that I'm a victim of abuse, because I know there are a lot of people out there who have gone through a heck of a lot worse than I have. But I just wanted to share my experience of an abusive friendship that I was in and discuss it with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are high school age, and I think high school is the time when a lot of people kind of end up trapped in these unhealthy, abusive kind of relationships with people. So I met this guy freshman year of high school, and our personalities just kind of clicked, and we became really close friends really quickly. And we talked about everything from really stupid teachers to what we wanted to do with our futures. And for 2 years, it was great. I considered him one of my closest friends. But by my third year of high school, things started to get a little rough, and long story short, it degraded into a very unhealthy relationship. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I would spend hours IMing him, trying to help him with his problems that he was going through, and every suggestion I made, he would turn around as an insult to me. He insulted my appearance, my personality, and my dreams for the future, which I found to be one of the hardest parts to deal with coming from him. By the end of every conversation, he had made me feel, and please excuse my language, but he had made me feel like complete shit about myself. I remember on several occasions just breaking down and crying because of the things that he had said to me. And to make it worse, he made me feel extremely guilty about every second that I wasn't talking to him. After a while, I decided to bring up how I was feeling with him on a few different occasions, and every time I said something about it, he would get all offended and deny it, and it just kind of made it worse. And that was when I really started thinking about not talking to him anymore, deleting him as a friend, if you will. And I hated that idea for a variety of reasons, some of which being that he was one of my closest friends and I was one of his closest friends, and that just kind of sucks. But then I realized that a real friend wouldn't and shouldn't do something like that to you. And I realized that our relationship was just really unhealthy, and it was this giant hole of negativity that I felt like I was spiraling down into. And it took me about a year from the time that I realized this to the time that I actually took the first step in fixing the situation and just completely blocking him on social media. And I remember when I blocked him feeling so guilty and so horrible on one hand, but on the other hand, I felt like that in blocking him, I had blocked all of that negativity that came in our relationship, and it just felt like a giant weight off my shoulders. Basically, what I want you to get out of this story is that you should never, ever feel compelled to stay in an unhealthy relationship. If a friend of yours is talking down to you, belittling you, generally making you feel horrible or mistreating you in any way, if you are in an abusive relationship, realize that you do not deserve that kind of treatment, and find a way to get yourself the heck out of that situation. And I know every situation is unique and has its own set of circumstances that have to be taken into consideration, and I know that it can seem absolutely impossible to break off a friendship, especially if you've been friends with that person for years and years and years, or if they're your only friend. But believe me, there are people out there that will be your friend, and being alone for a while is so much better than being stuck in a really bad situation for what's gonna seem like an infinitely longer amount of time. When you're the one in the relationship, it is so difficult to see things objectively, because everything you think is clouded with self-doubt and guilt and frustration and so much anger at yourself and the other person. But as soon as you're free of it, it is so much better. And if you're in high school, know that pretty soon you'll be going off to college where things really do get better. All the embarrassing moments, bullies, and bad relationships get left behind. Believe me, it is so much better to be able to leave high school or conclude any stage in your life loving yourself than to be worn down by some jerk face who insists on making you feel like you aren't worth it. So don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, because you are more than worth it. I didn't cover nearly as much as I wanted to in this video, but it's getting pretty long-winded. This is a really big topic, so if you have anything that you would like to comment on or discuss or add to this discussion, or if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. like, share, subscribe, and stuff, and I will see your beautiful faces soon. Bye! Hey, so my family found my YouTube channel. Hey Mom, thanks for subscribing. Love you.